Madden NFL 23, and we'll play host to a battle between conferences. It's the New England Patriots and the Minnesota Vikings, and it's coming up next.
As this crowd rolled into U.S. Bank Stadium, they were bundled up, jackets and scarves, downright cold outside on this November evening. But all good here inside as we welcome you to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New England Patriots and the Minnesota Vikings. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. Taken in at the 3. Well, we get a first look at this Patriots offense, and of course leading them for his second season. Last year's Rookie of the Year runner-up out of Alabama, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones absolutely believed in himself coming out of high school. Went to Alabama despite the fact there were many high-profile quarterbacks already on the roster, and blossomed into a Heisman Trophy candidate in his final season with 41 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Steady, consistent as a passer, doesn't have the biggest cannon for an arm, but can stretch the field and lay those passes in on the deep ball.
They run with a 4th-year man. This is Damian Harris. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And this returnable for Rager. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
And one nice thing you can always say about Kirk Cousins is that he's consistent. Always puts up nice numbers each and every year. If there is a downside to his game, it's been the lack of playoff success. All in all, though, formidable starting quarterback at a time in the league where it's tough to find your franchise guy.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And some room to roam now. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because, you know, all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
12 yards there, 1st down Vikings. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Let's ride. Let's roll. Get up, baby. It's showtime, baby. Let's ride.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And some room to maneuver. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. No score after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Now an end around as Cousins will just pop this forward.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's got his man in stride, complete. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Cousins to throw it.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
On 24 yards.
Joseph's got it. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would say, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Joseph now to kick this one away. Marcus Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Now Jones. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Three yards remain for second down. Throwing Jones. And this one complete to Smith. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he will have a Patriots first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
That's a big conversion there on third down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw again. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Hunter Henry brings it in. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On is Jake Bailey to send this away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking. A lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw, Cousins.
Quickly to Thielen here.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And Cook has it, left side. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Cousins.
Right back to Cook for another completion.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. And deep to return it is Marcus Jones.
A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from the first half for New England. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Starting the 3rd quarter with Cook.
He'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about where they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 24, Cousins. This ball complete. It's an out route to Thielen. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Cousins on 3rd and 2. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he will have the Vikings first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 64 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That good for 22 and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And his throw is going to be incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Osborne. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0.
Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fields it right around the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter.
Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 26. Now left side on the swing pass. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Working with a 2nd and 4. A run with a second-year man. That's Ramondre Stevenson.
He takes this one across the 35 to the 36. A gain of about 4.
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Looking to throw on second down. Jones. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. And that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
They run for it with Harris. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Henry.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done.
They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. And a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Jones throw pulled in by Aguilar. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw again on second down, Jones. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Checking this down to Stevenson.
Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So here's Nick Folk in an important spot from the right hash and calling an even 50 yards.
Folk's kick is good.
We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning. After the main field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off.
Nwanger now from his end zone. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Well, they can smell victory, partner. They can see it on the horizon, but certainly we're not done yet here. Defense still has 3 timeouts, and obviously this is a very slim lead they're holding on to.
And let's face it, the easiest way to get this done, challenge your ground game. Challenge your offensive line, your tight ends, your receivers, anyone who's going to lay down a block. Don't let there be penetration because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and maybe bring extra people to the ball. If you can do that, make them burn their timeouts, run out the clock, life will be good. But if you really want to gamble a little bit, a quick play action, quick throw, might be able to get it done. Just make sure it's not incomplete and stop the clock.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run it again with Cook. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And a good run here as he'll run all the way down to the 4-yard line. 129 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point in the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it.
Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game, but hey, they got enough points to get the job done. At the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you were trying to do out there. Fortunate for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win, and in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.